Hi you guys, welcome back to Looks by Nahima, and I am Nahima. Today I'll be coming at you guys with a natural radiant dewy look on my oily skin. So I know for a lot of people with oily skin, the word dewy is super scary because we already produce so much natural oils that adding anything on your skin to make it look like wet looking or really radiant or glowy is just like a no-no in a lot of people's cases, and I totally understand you guys' frustration. But one of my favorite looks to do is a more natural radiant look, especially now that I'm living down in LA. I think like the sun-kissed just wet looking skin look is super in and looks super gorgeous in the sunlight when you're like when the light is just hitting your highlighter. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. So I just want to show you guys how I achieve that look, and I'm actually wearing it right now, so I'll show you guys all the products that I used. Hey guys, so I would definitely say that the first step in achieving natural radiant looking skin while also having oily skin is definitely skin prep. If you don't properly prep your skin with the proper skincare, any makeup that you put on top will just end up looking cakey, and that's not what we want at all. So I'll be actually showing you guys a little bit of my skincare right now. I just did a mask and I also just put my toner on, so those are the only two steps I have. But now I'll be going in with my Radiance Perfecting Serum, and this actually has hyaluronic acid as well as vitamin C in it. So I like to use this every day, and I just think it's definitely helping keep my skin nice and moisturized. It's one of the pipettes, so I just like pipette it on my skin. I don't use too much. Please do keep in mind I do have oily skin, so I don't need too much of it. I like to focus it on my cheeks. But I just like to have a little bit of it on my skin, and it definitely instantly brings life into my skin. So the next step I'm going to be going into is my Banishing cream, which is a skin discoloration remover. I use this kind of just like on the areas where I have darker spots, which is mainly my cheeks. So I just dot it on there, and I just dot it a little bit on the other parts as well as my neck. Because when your skin is properly moisturized, your oily skin won't overproduce oil, which is a lot of the times the reason why people with oily skin have produce so much oil, is because your skin is actually super dry. So now I'll actually go in with my day cream. It's the Avon Nutraeffects Active Seed Complex. This is actually made specifically for oily skin. It's oil free and it has SPF 15. So this is usually how I get my daily dose of SPF, is through my moisturizer. But I've heard from people that I should probably also use another moisturizer on top of that. But just right now I haven't found a moisturizer that I like, so I'm just going to keep using this one. And you'll see one of the products I'm going to go in with actually has SPF in it, so I do definitely feel like I'm getting enough SPF that way. But to each their own. If you feel like you need more, use more. But I would definitely say if you're using stuff on your skin, especially like I was using that Radiance Perfecting Serum, and it does have the vitamin C, especially with stuff like vitamin C or any acids like hyaluronic acid, glycolic acid, anything like that, exfoliants, make sure you use some sort of an SPF on your skin. Protect your skin, because using these products makes your skin incredibly sensitive to the sun as well as light in general. So you just want to make sure that you are properly moisturizing. Now I'm gonna go in with my go-to primer. You guys know it's the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. It really does keep your skin matte throughout the day. It's the only primer where I've really noticed long-lasting effects, and then also it's super smoothing and pore filling, so it definitely helps to keep your products to glide on and not look cakey. So I love using this. I'm almost out of it. I'm really sad, but luckily it's drugstore, so I do not mind buying another one. The goal is to make your skin look soft, smooth, moisturized, plumped, and healthy. So yeah, now that we have our full base on, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the eyes first. Okay, so I'm gonna prime my eyes with my e.l.f. Lid Lock Primer. So going along with the whole natural theme of this video, I'm actually gonna go really natural on the eyes. I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Dark Brown Brow Pencil and just lightly fill in. I'm just combing through the brows, getting them into their natural shape. And just do some really light strokes. mainly focusing on the tail end of the brow. And then just combing out anything you just did. And combing it back into that natural shape. And then that's about it for that brow. My trusty Essence Makeup Brow and lightly brush through my brow hairs. I'll leave all the products that I'm using in this tutorial down below so you guys can follow along. For the eyes, I'll actually be going in with my e.l.f. Cosmetics Molten Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Brushed Copper. This is a really pretty champagne light gold shade, and it's just really, really fine glitter that you can build up to look really, really metallic. Not really glittery, but just a shimmer, or you can sheer it out just to have a shimmer all over the lid. I'm going to kind of play around with that and see which one I like. So I like to focus it on just the lid part because that's where you want it to be the most shimmery. And you can just messily place it because we're just going to blend it out with our fingers in a bit. And I'm just going to leave that there. I like it to get a little bit, like I like it to dry down a bit and get a little bit tacky before I blend it out. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other eye. Like that. So now I'm going to go in with my finger and just blend it out all over the eye. Be careful not to over blend, but I would say that's a really nice blend. You just want to get the shimmer evenly dispersed over your eye, and then do the same thing to the other eye. Now you guys can see my eyes are nice and shimmery and evenly dispersed on both eyes. And it have like a really nice, like almost like glossy, dewy effect without it actually being wet to the touch. I describe this as the perfect like beach eye with just a really natural brow and just a sparkly lid. So, and for a little bit of extra shine, I'm actually going to take this loose pigment. This is from the brand LA Color, Fine Gold Shimmer, and I'm kind of going to focus that on the inner part of the lid just to give like an extra little pop of glitter. You just want to pat it into place. It also pats down any of that extra shimmer and put it into the tackiness and just get it a little bit blended, a little bit more evenly dispersed. So now we're going to go into the face, and I'll actually be mixing two foundations, and that will actually be the Black Radiance True Complexion BB Cream, and this has SPF 15. So like I mentioned before, another product that I use that has SPF in it, and this is actually in the shade Brown Sugar. This is Black Radiance's darkest BB cream shade, and I've talked about this on my Instagram. I'm disappointed that this is their darkest shade, especially for a brand called Black Radiance. I understand that they're not actually black owned, but for a brand that is targeted towards black makeup wearers, for that to be their darkest shade is really disappointing. So I'm actually going to be mixing that with my Milk Makeup matte foundation, the Blur Liquid one. And if you guys saw my Milk Makeup review, you saw that that foundation is just a smidge too deep, and I actually don't like the formula of it that much. So I've been mixing it in with this BB cream, in which I do like the formula, and I think they mix together really amazingly, and the Milk Makeup one actually adds the depth that I needed from the BB cream. So if the BB cream was the right shade to start off with, it would have been nice, but I already have this foundation, so I'm just mixing the two together, and they actually create a really pretty natural looking finish to the skin. It looks really gorgeous. So I'm just going to dot this onto my skin. And I'm actually using a little bit less than I usually do. I'm just mainly focusing this on my cheeks where I have the most discoloration, and this spreading it to the rest of my face. Usually when I'm doing this look, I don't go in with concealer, but I'm going in with a little, just a smidge of my Wet n Wild Photophocus concealer, and this is in the shade Dark Cocoa, and I'm just using it right underneath my eyes where I do have a little bit of darkness, and I would like it to look a little bit brighter. So just right under the eyes. Just a little bit like that. And then I'm going to do like the landing strip down the nose. And that's all the concealer I'm going to use. And I'll actually be blending this out today with my Thrive Cosmetics Beauty Sponge. And this is because I want to kind of take away a little bit of the coverage that it has, but also just properly blend it out and apply it right under the eyes where it needs to be, not anywhere else. So I'm just going to start with the nose. Because blending things out with beauty sponges really helps because it has a little bit of dampness because it was wet underneath the water. So it really extra blends and also adds like a little bit of an added radiance. I'll actually be going with my cream highlighter. I'm in love with this highlighter, and it's actually called the Wet n Wild Hello Halo highlighter, and this is actually in the shade Go With The Glow. It's a beautiful bronze coppery liquid highlighter, and it looks so gorgeous. I'm just gonna show you guys. It has a nice big doe foot applicator, so I just apply it right onto the high points of my face. And this is just one of the cream products that I also love using, even if I'm not going in with and I like to take a little bit underneath the brow bone. Yeah, so even if I'm not going for a natural makeup look, I'll still use this with my more fuller coverage looks because it just makes your skin have the most beautiful ethereal glow I've like ever seen, and it's absolutely stunning. And I love to blend this out with the e.l.f. Small stippling brush. I think this is the perfect brush to be able to blend it out. So if you guys have that product and you're having trouble with it, I don't recommend going in with a beauty sponge. I recommend going in with a stippling brush. I think it's the perfect kind of blush. And as you guys can see, I just place that in the areas that I normally highlight. You just want to go in circular motions, buffing it out. And this is where you're going to really see that radiance coming through and making your skin look really nice and glowy. And I do make sure to put this on before you put on powder. I don't recommend using this over powder. This is definitely a product I only do underneath powder. And if you have dry skin, I recommend just leaving it like this. You might want to put a little bit of powder under the eye, but I would just leave your face like this and go outside the house, maybe add on a little bit of blush. But for me, since I have oily skin, I need to use my powders. I'll actually be using the Milk Makeup Blur and Set Powder in the shade Translucent Deep. Again, if you guys saw my Milk Makeup video, you saw my review on this, but I really enjoy this powder. It's my #1 go-to powder. It's my #1 go-to powder when I want a more natural looking base, because it does not get cakey at all and just applies just the right amount of powder that you need and just sets your makeup. So when I'm going for looks like this, I'm reaching for this powder. So I'm just taking a decent amount and just placing it right under my eyes and making sure not to disrupt this highlighter. And kind of like on the side of the nose too. Just make sure you're setting the under eye. And do the same thing to the other eye. And it's really nice with this powder as well because it doesn't take away the shine of the liquid glow either. It really lets it shine through. Just setting those middle portion areas of my face, even though I didn't put concealer there. Because like I said, I do have oily skin. So you do need to make sure it's set. See, it's gorgeous. It just sets it, and it still looks nice, healthy, radiant, because we kept those cheeks looking nice and dewy. So that is it with that setting powder. And then now I'm just going to go over with a very, very light layer of an overall setting powder. As you guys know, I love my Black Radiance pressed powder. So I'll be going in with a very light layer of that. And just setting my whole face, making sure, again, not to disrupt the areas with the highlight. So just going on the cheeks. You see the skin is just looking so flawless and gorgeous and dewy right now. So I think my favorite blush of all time has to be this Ulta Beauty Velvet Blush. This is in the shade Majestic. It's their deepest shade of blush. As you guys can see, I have pan in this. I really, really love the formula and the color of this blush. It is a nice, like, gorgeous, like, magenta-y plum color with a bit of shine, which is gorgeous for a glowy look like this, but it also blends so beautifully on top of just your bare skin or thin layers of makeup. Because some makeup, especially like even my e.l.f. Blushes right here, since they're more of a powder formula, it needs more of a foundation, more of a thickness underneath it to blend properly. But something like this, that's a velvet blush that has some slip to it, just blends so beautifully over thin layers of makeup or just on your bare skin. So it looks beautiful regardless of what is underneath it. So that's why I love to use it, and it's very pigmented. So I just want to focus this on my cheeks and blend upwards. And you guys can see it has a little bit of that glow. Now we're going to go in with even more highlighter. So I'll actually be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Sun Dip Glow Kit. This is my go-to highlighters, hands down. I can't even front. My favorite highlighting product in my whole collection is this glow kit. If I had to keep one highlighting product, it would be this, because it has 4 different colors and I get use out of all of the colors in here, and it's absolutely gorgeous. The reason why I'm using these today is because these are like the #1 most wet looking highlighters I have. That's as far as the powder formula. They just glide so beautifully over your skin and make your skin literally look so wet, gorgeous, dewy. And that's why I can even use all these colors, like these 2 lighter shades. The only reason why I can use them is because they are so wet looking, so it doesn't even look like a color, it just looks like a sheen. So I'll be mixing bronze and summer together, but mainly focusing on summer because I want to get a little bit of that lighter glow in there. So I'm just going to dip into bronze a little bit, tap off, and dip heavily into summer, tap off. You don't even need that much. That's a lot of product, but I want the glow to be so out of this world. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, and then I take any extra on my chin, and it really gives that ethereal glow. And sometimes I even do it that way, where I just lightly dust it. You just get such an unreal glow. So gorgeous. Take a little bit extra on the upper lip. Okay, so now I'll be going into my Wet n Wild fan brush, and I'm just going to be dipping into the shade Summer, which is the lighter one, and going over my lip, going on the tip of the nose, on the bridge, taking a little bit more, and then going over my brow bone with it. Lash Princess mascara in the green one, and then applying light layers of your mascara. I definitely don't recommend falsies for this look, but to each their own. I just personally don't wear falsies, but you do want to have like a little bit more of a natural looking look. So I'll just go with like any trusty mascara that you know is going to give you volume. Can y'all see how beautiful this mascara just made my eyelashes? Just so separated. Like, oh my gosh. Like, it almost looks like I'm wearing falsies. Looks absolutely stunning. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking my more tapered brush and going in with the shade Summer and using that on my inner corner. it just gives those popping inner corner highlights. And I like to be extra with my inner corner highlight, and I blend it a little bit up into the eyeshadow. I think that looks absolutely stunning. Don't you guys think? I really love this look right now. And then I'm just going to be setting this with my e.l.f. Mist and Set setting spray. Oh my gosh, I love how this looks. And I'm just gonna grab a lip gloss and throw that on for you guys, and then that'll be the finished look. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and please make sure to go check out some of my other videos. I'll have them playing in a reel at the end of this video, or in an eye. I hope you guys think about subscribing to my channel. If you guys have any video recommendations, please leave them in the comments down below. I really appreciate you guys for taking your time out of your day and watching this video. It really means a lot to me. Have a great one. Bye.